And welcome back to the Thunder Rooster Podcast. My name is Ron.
And I'm Paul.
And today we're going to be having a really fun wrap-up. It's our last week of Paranormal Month.
Yes, it is.
It's been a lot of fun. I know we've gotten some pretty cool feedback, so I think it'll probably be happening again, for sure. Today's topic is going to be over demonic hauntings. We're kind of going to obviously going to give into like what is a demonic haunting and kind of how a demonic haunting is different from any other haunting, and kind of, read some modern stories later on in the podcast to kind of give more examples. Sure.
I need to have a beer today for this one.
Yes, we did. Oh boy.
Still, it's freaking me out, Ron.
Yeah, I got a little story I'll probably put at the end of our 3 shots or something that kind of freaked me out. Because, when you get talking about this stuff, you always run into how people say that the more you open yourself up to this stuff, the more susceptible you are to, I guess, having this stuff happen to you, I guess. So that's in the back of my mind. And, there's been some things that were questionable that kind of made me a little anxious, but
yeah, but this is equal opportunity for all. They don't care. It doesn't care who you are, what you look like, where you're from. It's going to get you. Either way.
Yeah. Before we jump right into it,
yes,
I would like to thank everybody who is subscribed to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And we're still not enough on the listens, I don't think. I haven't checked in a few weeks, but to actually get stats on Apple. Yeah. So I don't know how many people actually subscribe to our podcast feed. But anybody who has, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please click that subscription button.
Do it now.
And help us get our goal of 100. We're hoping to hit that by the middle of the year. We're not trying to be overzealous about getting big on this anytime soon. I know it's a very slow ride. I had this maybe delusion when we first started out. We were trying to get one video up to 1,000 likes. It hadn't even hit 100 yet.
But it's still good to reach high. Reach for the stars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not
It'll
at all.
come. It'll come.
But, yeah, we really appreciate that. And if you are listening to Apple Podcasts, if you leave us a review and a rating on there, it would mean the world to us, because that helps get our podcast more available to everybody when they search for us. So do your thing, we'll do our thing, and hopefully we both benefit.
Yes, I agree.
Don't worry about the ratings. As long as you just write something in there, you like we said before, put a recipe for a pie in there for all we care. We might even try it out.
I'm okay with that.
I like
pies.
But yeah. All right, so kind of first impressions on this one. I'm going to have to say, did you ever know there was a distinction of a demonic haunting?
No.
I sure did. The only thing demonic haunting type S thing is, I would assume, when an exorcism has to take place, when someone's, excuse me, I was almost possessed myself right there.
Almost came right up, huh?
Is trying to escape.
Keep it in there.
I wish I had video editing skills. I could make black smoke come out of my mouth just now. Who knows? Maybe I just did that. I'm a quick learner.
That'll creep me out a little bit.
But yeah. Any distinction on that? Did you have any kind of hint that maybe it was its own separate thing?
No, I really didn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, we'll go into this, and it was funny. We were talking about this beforehand, Ron, especially with our whole month of paranormal. And it seems like with all the stories and the testimonies, you're kind of like, I'm feeling good about everything.
Yeah.
You're feeling like you're going one circle. Me? No, I'm feeling like this is making things worse for me.
Yeah, it's funny.
I'm about to sleep with one eye open the rest of my life, because I don't need this going on in my life.
Yeah, he's getting more kind of freaked out by all this stuff. I'm actually getting more relaxed about it. I don't know why.
You can be relaxed as you want if you can look in the kitchen and watch a fucking oven just open open and close on its own, and cabinet drawers opening, closing. I mean, if you're cool with that, then that's your world.
I'm not cool with that happening to me.
Oh, but someone else, it's okay.
At the same time, expense. No, at the same time, if it did happen to me, it would be more of like, okay, I know for sure this shit is real.
Right.
Right now, we're just kind of pulling at things out of the air, trying to figure out maybe.
Fucking creepy.
Just the thought that maybe this stuff actually happens, is enough to be like, I don't want to mess with that.
No.
Same exact reason why we don't play with Ouija boards.
Yeah.
It's like there's always
not trying to ask and not trying to receive.
0.09% chance something may happen. It's just enough to be like, no. It's like if you set a salad in front of me and tell me that it might be poison. I'm not going to try it. No, sir. All right.
But I just had to throw that out there. It's kind of funny because you're like, yeah, this is all great. I'm like, it's really making sense to me. I'm kind of coming full circle. How about you, Paul? Yeah, a little freaked out still. He's like, every time we go in another week, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I need to sleep with a rosary every night now. Woo. All right.
Yeah, I mean.
To each of his own.
I'm telling you. I'll get into a little story a little later about my anxious part of the thing.
Right,
so,
right.
It's not just him.
No.
But, yeah. All right, so let's get into our topic today, demonic hauntings. So, you want to tell us?
Hauntings.
Let's begin with what a demonic haunting is.
Well, yeah, I mean.
And describe some of the stuff that goes on.
Of course. So, and not to be confused with other topics that we've talked about, we're just going to blend this into the one. Demonic activity or demonic haunting.
Yeah, after we get in, after he finishes that, I'm going to give, apparently there's more than just, a haunting.
No, just wait,
there's
more.
Sections and there's different kinds.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll throw in like a little bit of different kinds on that.
So the first thing you got to understand is that demons are entities that do not have a mortal human form. They don't.
Yeah.
Okay? They just don't. And I'm just going to say this on the side point. If you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that would make them extraterrestrials.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I've always had that theory.
If Satan and 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God's kingdom, then Satan and 1/3 of the angels that became demons are also extraterrestrial.
Correct.
Fair enough, right? That is why they never have mortal human forms. Einstein said, obviously, that E = mc square. Energy can be converted into matter and in different ways.
Matter can be converted into energy.
Right. Demons are pure energy entities.
Yep.
They are described in 3 different optional ways. Angelic, horrific, I can attest to that, and black mist.
Yeah.
Angelic, sense of beauty that can manipulate the person to commit something that is sinful or out of the ordinary. Do you hear that noise too?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, let's just continue.
All right.
Oh, God. Where's my rosary? So, yeah, of course, one way to portray themselves is a feeling, an image of beauty to manipulate. Horrific, of course. Evil-looking shit.
Yeah. Some of the stuff you see on TV of, like, representations or reenactments, if you will.
The reenactments, yes.
I mean, it gets bad.
It is. Yeah, some of it's, like, really, really bad. Like, this is stupid, funny, but then there's others like, oh, wait, they might have came to something.
Did you see that first Annabelle movie?
Yes, but it was a while ago. Yes,
you know how they had that like demon face behind the doll or something like that at some point? Dude, when I first saw that, I was like, no, what the fuck? Like, no, fuck that. Out. I'm out.
Okay, gone.
But like, you really see some of those really fucking ugly things.
Right? Yeah.
And honestly,
it's not pretty.
I think I don't think they actually look like that. I think they make themselves look like that to scare the shit out of people,
That's one of the things as far as horrific, evil looking. People claim they see demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. And as far as they know what we fear, and that is not their true appearance. Just like you said, they're going to try to test you on what your biggest fear is.
Right. I mean, it's interesting, that's for sure.
And then we go into black mist, or AKA black fog, black shadow, black smokes. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or fog.
Right.
That's what I think is really just like where that Where'd that come from? I mean, last week when we watched that one video, you know, it's like, was that a black mist, a mass?
Oh, the hallway?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? So like we start asking questions.
So I have my doubts that was fake. I mean, not my doubts, but like I have a feeling that was a faked video.
We
but
thought
at the same
it could
time,
be too. But
if it's not, I mean, come on.
Exactly. So when it is a demonic haunting, you know, typically you notice a revolting stench similar to rotting flesh or
So let's put
acid.
it this way. If you are by yourself at home and you walk into a room that you haven't been in for hours, maybe you haven't even been there at all that day.
Nope.
You walk in there and it smells like one of the worst farts you've ever done and you haven't been in there, I'd say that's probably a sign.
maybe give it a little break.
Right.
Maybe come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe leave for a little bit.
Yeah. Go get dinner or something.
Or, you know, move to Mexico. I hear good things sometimes.
And then there's the occasional, of course, you get the rotting flesh smell, and, you know, there's often the loud growl to go with that.
Yeah.
Because who would want somebody growling at them?
Oh. I think that would be the most notable thing, I think. If you are hearing something out of the ordinary and it's a growl at you, like an animal growl.
Like, I think at times, like, I'm not a morning person. Ron knows this. A lot of people that know me, and I'm used to it. I'm a little groggy in the morning, a little tired, but man, the first thing I'm going to do if I'm going to the bathroom and then, like, a growl happens, oh, hell no. I'm taking cover.
Like, wait your turn.
He's like,
I gotta pee.
My shit. It's like, no, not your shit, buddy. But you know, that's just,
yeah,
just the stench, and then of course it's, you know, the make contact by pushing, shoving, hitting, scratching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the air can feel affected or with like a thick fog, temperature change, you know, hot to cold, even warmth. I mean, it's just, these are just kind of like isolate situations where this might actually kind of come about.
Yeah, to be fair though, I mean, a lot of those instances are like just normal, like ghost hunters will use.
Right.
Most of that is like evidence just of there being a spirit there, not
Exactly.
necessarily like an evil one.
Right.
But yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And of course, the creatures are strong. They're unlike human spirits. And they don't mind showing that to us. Obviously, they're there to do what they got to do. I mean, there have been cases where people have been thrown through the air. We've seen this, attacked. But the main goal is to break the person down to their free will in order to make them be possessed. They're going to break you down physically and mentally to the point that you have nothing to give, whereas they're going to just try to come in and take you over.
Yeah.
Make you false promises, make you believe things.
They're basically they just keep on until your shell is just so thin they can
chipping
just
away.
break through.
Yeah, they keep chipping until they break through, you know, and it's just that's just crazy.
I'm not sure I got into this, but when we had our sleep paralysis episode, you know, during my time of having it, I kind of came up with a theory for that. You know, not necessarily like, I don't know if there's any theory to it of this nature, but I was thinking that maybe sleep paralysis and that stuff was like maybe a way of something trying to possess you,
right?
But it just didn't happen. Nope. And me laughing it off made it just stop.
Or maybe you were a lot more stronger than others.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe you were like, this isn't really phasing me because you're like, I just don't. But then others could be frail and fragile to that.
Yeah.
You know, there's the truth of the matter is that, you know, to try to get these demons or creatures out of where they're at, you're not just going to kill them. You can't just destroy them.
No, because they're not like physical.
You can't do anything like that. Right. So you just kind of be hopeful that they just go away.
Right. It's just like anything else. It's energy. Like when we die, our physical bodies, whatever you believe happens when you die, your energy is still there. It's going somewhere. You know, whether it's back out into the universe like a wave crashing against the water returns to the ocean, you know.
Just the thought of even manipulation. They can manipulate into something else to think that that's what you're talking to, and then morph back to what they are. I mean, it's all mind manipulation, control.
Right. I mean, how many times do you hear about people having, dreams or sightings of like talking to angels and stuff?
Right.
How do you know it wasn't? I mean, obviously, I'm sure the subject matter and the context of which it might be able to be seen, but I mean, most of the stuff that you see nowadays, I mean, that's just people coming forward. You don't ever hear about stuff that people don't want to talk about. There's a lot of people that just won't say anything because they'll think automatically anybody that hears a story will think they're crazy or a nut job.
Right.
They'll get thrown in a sane asylum or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick. This commercials or ad is coming at you from the Prairie Land Paranormal Podcast. Prairie Land Paranormal Podcast.
You got that?
We'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Eric and Jessica Carrier, the hosts of the Prairie Land Paranormal Podcast.
If you're looking for a show that explores all things paranormal with dramatic storytelling, historical research, relevant science, and witness accounts,
check out our show online at www.prairielandparanormalpodcast.com or through your favorite podcast player.
And welcome back. That was an ad for Prairie Land Paranormal Podcast. It's pretty cool. You should check it out for sure. Let them know we sent you.
Mm-hmm.
But since we dove into that, I thought I'd give a little kind of recap of different kinds of hauntings. I say recap because we've already discussed the poltergeist kind of haunting, the activity, whatever. But just to reiterate, just in case you missed that one, in the case of poltergeist, the haunting circles around a female in her teen years. Some of these cases seem to be caused by the female unknowingly controlling the energy around herself. Some cases happens around people that are stable and in the right mind space. This haunting is hard to classify due to certain situations. No two are ever really the same. Most of the time you find that one person in the house seems to be more affected by the haunting than anyone else. It may seem that most of the activity doesn't happen unless that certain person is present. Usually the activity appears to stop when that person leaves the home. The majority of the time, poltergeists are experienced by several people, but again, they seem to center around one certain person. So, I mean, the banging, the scratching, the loud noises, the climax. Watch the last episode, or the 2 episodes ago, get that one. But yeah, the next one is residual haunting activity. Residual haunting activity can occur when something tragic or stressful occurs, such as murder or rape. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint or record the events, like a recording tape. It will play the events over and over again. So, like, a haunting that you run into in, like, say, like the Civil War, for instance, you always hear about hauntings and seeing stuff like that. So a lot of the time it won't be like an interactive kind of thing. It just looks like somebody reliving that, like a memory,
right?
Like a time loop or something, like just a certain stamp in time repeating itself over and over, Anywho, it's not an intelligent haunting. There's no interaction between you and the entity.
Nope.
Residual haunting activity can also be caused by positive energy blasting into the atmosphere. Many times you have heard ghost stories where people can hear the sounds of a party. They hear music, singing, dancing, laughter, and when they enter the room where they hear the party, there's no one there. Residual haunting activity can be the specters of living beings. All right, so excuse me. Intelligent/interactive hauntings. Kind of back to Einstein's theory that Paul was talking about earlier. As matter beings, we are all energy beings on a quantum level. We are made up of atoms and neutrons. As matter/energy beings, we have intelligence. While millions of electrical currents that are created through our bodies, our brains create brain waves, a form of pure energy that is transmitting our thoughts, what we see, what we feel, etc. When our mortal form dies, the aura that constantly surrounds our bodies leaves our bodies. We lose 6 ounces on the instance of death. What is this 6 ounces?
Yeah, what is the 6 ounces?
It's energy leaving our body, our soul. This energy, the aura, or you may even call it your soul, is carrying the information of what we used to be. If it can do this, then why couldn't it also carry our intelligence? If it can carry our former intelligence of our previous life, then it should be able to interact with us intelligently. When we see this aura, we call it a ghost. If this ghost is able to interact with us, is aware of us, can touch us, can communicate with us, then this is an intelligent/interactive haunting. Some reasons the ghost might be tied to a site or people, died as a result of a traumatic event, murder, car accident, etc. Due to unfinished business. We hear that all the time.
All the time.
The spirit may have died suddenly and not realized he or she died. The living loved ones are so emotionally distraught they can't let go. The spirit is emotionally connected to their loved ones. I mean, isn't everybody?
Right.
Hope. They cannot rest due to an injustice done to them. Or last but not least, the fear of the other side of judgment. So, we have 2 more hauntings to kind of go over. One we've touched on before. Mm-hmm. It's actually shadow people or shadow creatures. Mm-hmm. So this is a type of haunting activity that has no real explanation. They are different from ghosts. They are usually shapeless, dark masses, mostly seen with our peripheral vision. I'll get into that later. They are known to do things that are different from ghosts. They can move between walls. They have no human features. They wear no clothes, except for the Hatman / hooded figure shadow creatures. People who encounter them have a feeling of dread, clairvoyance that encounter shadow people say they do not feel they are human and consider them non-human. Well, yeah, that was kind of a... All right. Shadow people have no discernible mouth, noses, or facial expressions. Some are seen as child-sized dark humanoids. Some people say they seem to be made up of dark smoke or dark steam. Okay. At times when they move, they appear to be moving on an invisible track from one place to another, such as a toy train on a small-scale railroad track. They have been seen to hop or what appears to be a strange dance. They are known to stare at the floor. All right.
Sounds exciting.
I pulled these descriptions of hauntings off of a website called, what was it? It's hauntedoc.com/types of hauntings if you want to check it out. Mm-hmm. There's more. I'm not reading all of it. Last but not least, we have portal hauntings. Portals aren't really a new concept. As we've seen them in a lot of sci-fi flicks. But in the real world, portal hauntings are considered controversial as there is little known and the idea is mostly theory or speculation. Portals are thought to be doorways to another world or dimension in which entities travel through them. It's speculated that portals are not limited to one location, region, or limited to sacred ground. Typically, places that experience a wide array of different types of anomalies, such as glowing balls of light, odd creatures, strange shapes, or unexplained mist or fog, are suspected to have a portal in which these energies are traveling back and forth. A great example of this would be Skinwalker Ranch. That is wildly talked about as having portal activity on that one. You know, they have giant wolves that get shot and don't die. All kinds of like ghosts being seen there. That'll be a future subject, of course. We have to cover that. But yeah, I just thought we should add to the mix. If we're going to cover the demonic haunting and poltergeist, we should talk about.
It's only fair enough.
Yeah,
they go hand in hand.
So, we got another little bit here. These are kind of like modern day hauntings, more more or less within the last 20 to 30 years, so not quite as modern as we'd like, but I figured I'd share a couple, and Paul's got a couple too, and these all have to do with demonic hauntings. Okay, so my first story is called The Demon in the Mirror.
Ugh.
Oh. Let me cue that creepy music here.
Ugh.
When London flatmates Joseph Birch and Sotrus Charlambos. I'm trying to do a creepy voice. Charlambos. Scored a free antique mirror from their landlord a few years ago. They bought... I can't even do this great. They thought they got a great deal. Instead, they got a nightmare. A nightmare. A nightmare. After bringing the mirror into their home, the friends started suffering intense nightmares and simultaneously stabbing pains throughout their body. They'd wake up with scratch marks, objects strewn all over the floor of the apartment. Objects went missing, and the roommates felt like they were being watched. They also saw flickering shadows and glimpses of black darkness in the mirror, along with orbs of light in the room. To their credit, the pair didn't set the mirror outside for an unsuspecting passerby to pick up. They put it on eBay with plenty of warnings for potential buyers. Short and sweet. Okay. Moving on. All right. This one's called The Demon That Comes Out at Night. It's hard to get a good night's sleep if you think your home is haunted by a demon. It's even harder when the demon is prone to come out primarily while you sleep. In 2015, a South Wales couple said a friend visiting the home accidentally summoned a phantom through a Ouija board. The family regularly wake up, bruised and in pain. The couple's children have been terrorized, with the demon telling them, "I'm going to slit your parents' throats." After calling in paranormal investigators to their home, they've gotten rid of 2 small demons, but one remains, terrorizing them to this day. How about sell the fucking house and move?
Go now.
Right.
I don't understand of all these.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just not as easy just to get up and walk away.
Yeah. I mean, some people are... They're a glutton for punishment, I guess. You know. All right, this one is pretty cool. I'm going to try my best to kind of keep a good voice for this one. Bear with me.
Use your special voice, Ron.
If you find yourself walking past 20317 Fairway Drive in Springfield, Louisiana, keep walking. Couple Janine and AJ thought they found their dream home when they came across it late in 2013. But as soon as they moved in, something seemed off. The unusual activity started small, with gusts of cold air and a radio turning off by itself. Before long, though, Janine heard her young son talking to an imaginary friend, who was apparently threatening to hurt Janine. Soon, rosaries started to swing like pendulums. Pictures fell from walls. Plaster fell from the ceiling, and doors opened and slammed shut on their own. When the couple left a cassette recorder on, they picked up growling and a voice saying, "She will die." The last straw was when they discovered a satanic symbols carved into the wood. The wood flooring under the carpet. Wood. The family called in a minister who performed a cleansing on the house, an exorcism on the Janine. It was successful, but the family packed up and fled home anyway, which is what you should have done in the first place. I mean, come on. I mean, I get it. You invest your life savings into a house. It's your dream home. You want it to work. That pesky old demon's in there. Just
the wood's gone. You got to leave.
The wood.
No wood. You got to leave.
We gotta have to roll with that forever now. Gonna make a t-shirt out of that. The wood. Oh, that's great. Cheers. All right. So, before Casper shuts off our cameras, Paul, you want to dive into your couple stories?
I do have one.
Okay.
I'll just have one to provide here. The wood's good, right? Everything's good? Wood is good.
It's going to be like my Matthew McConaughey. All right. Wood.
So I just have a little story to contribute with this. So this actually, I was watching a show that's on Travel Channel called Paranormal Survivor. Ron actually told me about this a couple weeks back. And I came across one that was about demonic hauntings. So I watched it. It was a 2-part special. There were 2 different instances.
Wait. What's
demonic hauntings?
You said dynamic.
Dynamic? Demonic.
I was like, is this a new hybrid version?
The beer talking. Moving along, Ron.
Demonic hauntings. Let's go.
So there was 2 testimonies on the special.
Right.
So I wanted to focus on the first one because there was no solution to this.
Okay.
So I'll just fill you in. So, and real quick. So the story starts out that they had, there's this couple out of Canada. Okay.
Oh, Canada.
Exactly. Love our Canadians. So 2008 and 2009, this is kind of around this time. So there's this woman named Laura Lee, and she has this home, and she's lived in it for a couple years. Her boyfriend moves in about a year later. Everything's great. Happy life. Everything's cool. Jobs. Everything's fine. Then all of a sudden, Laura Lee she has a dream, and it's a nightmare, but it's a demonic dream, and it's so vivid to her. The dream was so real, she felt. She found herself outside of her yard, and she saw a humanized figure in their front yard. So when she's looking around the side of the yard, there's a man actually by their tree. She referred to it as a man with white glowing skin. And as she looked into his eyes, he spoke to her, and he basically called out her name, asked how she was doing. She was like, I'm fine. What do you want? And then he just comes up with this elaborate, plan. I can give you anything you want. Wealth, fame, you name it. All you have to do is just follow me.
I'm sorry, man. Right? I don't mean to rain on your parade here, but I saw like a comedy skit just pop into my head where you've got this freaky looking demon figure off by a tree somewhere, and she's just kind of walking up, kind of Kristen Wiig like what do you want?
How you doing? What's your name?
She's like,
what the hell you want?
What can I do for you?
Like, it's annoying me.
My bad.
No, you're fine. So obviously this, she starts seeing this entity, almost looks like a human man, is what she described it. White glowing skin. She looked into his eyes, called her by her name, said all these things about, hey, I could give you this, and this, but just join me. And she said no. So she gets out of there. He says it's not going to leave this quickly. He proceeds to tell her he was a demon, and if you see a crow or a raven, then know that's me. She basically screamed at him, a flash of light or a flash occurrence, and she basically was out of this nightmare.
Yeah.
Is what she described. So after that, she was shooken up. It startled her. It affected her every move after that happened.
Yeah.
So this happens, then things just start to get worse for this lady, which sucks. But we're going to leave you on a cliffhanger because we got to take another break.
Yes, we do.
Like how I leave them in suspense like that?
I like that. Good job.
It's called a tease, buddy. We'll see you back on the other side.
All right. Wood. The wood.
And we're back. And there is a foul stench in the room.
There might be a demon here.
There might be a demon.
All right, you left us off with a pretty big cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was.
I just created
until that flesh I started smelling in the room.
I just wanted a good environment for the story.
Yeah, about to die over here.
Cue the creepy music.
So basically, we were just basically where I was before the break was just Laura Lee at that point had this nightmare with this demon, and basically at this point, things were just not improving. Obviously, this happened, and they need to seek restitution, see what they can do.
Yeah.
And see who they can get to. Basically, at that point, I'm not going to bore us too much on the detail with that, but the one thing that was interesting is they had a couple paranormal experts that were on the program. One of them, her name was Michelle DeSorocher, and she had mentioned, and this makes sense, but it's kind of creepy at the same time. If a demon comes into your dream, it's trying to infiltrate your life.
Right.
But that's just like, but when, but when you really think about it, it's like, that's heavy stuff, it's just,
yeah.
And then it's obviously gets harder for them to get rid of them. So they go through a series where they actually bring a paranormal actual investigator out to kind of see what's going on. The first thing the investigator does when they come to the house, he starts hearing drumming. Like spiritual drumming. Like, this is already setting everything up to be bad at this point. He's going through this. He's trying to, to try to get the demon out. There was a storm over the house, noises, things moving. But I've never heard a situation where the person was like, yeah, I can't help you. And that person's crying.
Whoa.
Like, that's how serious it was. It was like, okay, that was like a really big piece of hope that this woman thought she was going to get, because not only was it this entity was messing with her, and then it goes on after the investigator leaves, then there's more instances. Like, she has an instance in the kitchen where she's baking cookies and she had the oven door down. She was just going around the side of the kitchen and she turned to look in there. The range door closed with her arm in it. She burned it. Several hours after she was done, she checked the mirror and she said that there was a branding on her arm that was matching the branding from the demon in the dream. Yeah. So,
get the fuck out.
Right? So that had happened. Then the boyfriend starts to get the brunt of it too. He starts to experience the same things too. He goes to the refrigerator.
That's interesting, because normally when this kind of shit happens, the father figure, the boyfriend, the husband, always like, this shit's not real. Nothing ever happens to them.
Right. So they're concerned, obviously, for the safety. Now, this happens to him, too. He opens the refrigerator, and he gets, like, decked. And thrown against the cabinets on the floor, like a full force grabbed him through him. And he first thought, like, he just didn't want to, like, was there, like, a loose ground wire? Like, is electrical short or something? Like, he's just worried more about that.
Just trying to make it
just
real
to process
in his
it.
head.
Right.
Yeah.
So these situations continue, and again, to go back to the raven, a raven and a crow symbolize demonic possession. This side note, I had a crow in the front of my house by one of my flower beds.
A dead one. Yeah.
No idea how it got there. Had to dispose of it. Had seen it there. I left it there for a couple days because I didn't know what the hell I was going to do with it.
Right, like didn't you say there was no poles around?
No,
there
was nothing. It was just a regular tree in our front yard with a little flower bed, and it just landed there. I'm like, well, at least it didn't hit the house.
And then this shit drops.
And then this drops.
And
got this knowledge.
You can tell why he's getting more anxious about this stuff.
So they bring another investigator in. They're like, we can't help you. I've never heard. I mean, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh my God, these poor people. Like, what is going on? So here's what the solution is at this point. They're like, how can we tackle this? Well, we're just going to decide that we're going to share the responsibility of when one of us sleeps, the other one's going to stay awake to monitor the situation. That was their decision. It ends after that. There is no recourse. There is no, the haunting is over. They're getting on with their lives. It's just, we are going to trade off on who sleeps and who stays. How about you just move out the house?
Right.
Okay, even in the Amityville horror movie, they're like, you know what? This is a bad investment. Get the fuck out.
Like, they left all their shit there.
No, I was just like, the whole midst of this testimony between this woman, it's like there was no mention of like, okay, maybe I made a mistake with this home. Maybe I just need to leave. Yeah. There was nothing about that. It was just, here's what happened, and our solution was, we're just going to watch each other sleep, and if something happens, we'll wake the other one up. Because one of the things that I just kind of skipped over is that she started getting really concerned about her boyfriend was he woke up one night and was choking. and she was trying to help him, and of course she didn't know what was going on. A black mucus came out of his mouth, and it was all on the ground and everything. So they also say too, if that happens, then you are going to be possessed. But no happy ending here. I was really hoping for the fact that they got a couple more investigators in, did their seance, maybe tried to make the evil go away, and all would be reserved back to normal, and that was not the case.
Hopefully there's a part 2 to this eventually. I'd like to hear.
I want to, but they did another story about another woman. Actually, it was from Ohio, and it was just a 2-part for this special.
Yeah.
But that's all. I was like, yeah, I'd like to look a little more, but I'm like, really? These people went through all this and there was like no happy ending? No happy endings are no good, Ron. so that's what I came about. I'm like, oh man. Yeah. I really felt bad for this couple. I really did. I was just like, just move. But I guess maybe it wasn't in the cards. I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know what I'd do.
I don't either. I
mean, we all have this kind of idea of like, you know, trying to envision yourself being brave and such in that kind of a situation. Right. But until you're in the thick of it, you know, you never know.
I don't want to know. Right. I don't want any of us to ever know.
That's all we do. Like we're researching all this stuff. It's like, I don't want any of this to happen to anybody. This is awful.
Not even to our worst enemies. That's no good.
All right.
Now it's to switch things up.
Yeah. I mean, just to wrap the topic up all together, it's just fucking weird.
Sleep with a rosary, garlic.
I don't know, man.
Holy water.
Here's the thing. Is like
a steak. I mean, anything.
Mostly all of the stories, or at least in the movies and in TV shows that you see, I just want to point out that most of every single possession story that you heard of is mostly all Catholic based.
Yep. I agree. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly.
I mean, I don't know.
Prove us wrong, but I agree completely on that.
Anyways, I hope that was fun for you. Now let's end this on a light.
Can we do something a little lighthearted now, please?
A little lighthearted. All right. We're going to go into our 3 shots of funny.
Bring it. All right.
I love the intro.
I know you
I'm going to laugh at that every
You could laugh at yourself laughing for days.
Of course.
Of course.
It just brings me such joy because that's one of those things. I was already dying laughing, and then you just said something that made me just lose it right there. All right. So.
All right. Funny man. What do we have this week?
This first little ditty is called Catch These Hands. This is from my wife.
Okay.
I said, do you want to fight me? Do you wanna catch his hands? Bitch, I'll catch you in the street. Some with that beat. Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
That's so cute.
It's like a little rendition of the Frozen song.
Yeah. It's kind of like, looks like a rendition of a reenactment with your son.
For our listeners, this little baby's like dead set watching the TV, and this like little kitten is like
looks like the baby's watching Bubba Guppies, Ron.
Probably. My son's always like, "Daddy, Bubba Gup on, please." Oh, he's funny.
So cute.
I just love the lyrics of this song. I want to play it one more time.
I said, do you wanna fight me? Do you wanna catch his hands? Bitch, I'll catch you in the street. Some with that beef. Bitch, I'll beat your ass.
The kid is like totally oblivious.
Just the kitten.
Everything the kitten's doing is like, leave me alone.
The song going on. The cat's patting, like
Bubba Guppy time.
Throwing hands at the kid.
It's Bubba Guppy time. Leave me alone, buddy.
That's great. All right, so I'm gonna play yours next because
it's just kind of funny that we kind of like mine's kind of the cat-based theme as well.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for it?
I could just jokingly just say cat scratch fever, but it's not really. It's cat humor.
All right.
What time is it?
Oh, it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m.?
I gotta go do the thing.
Richard.
Helen, I have to do this.
damn cats. Oh man, fucking cats.
You know how cats are.
I love cats, but I hate cats.
Because I bet, like my mom has 2 cats.
Oh,
One of the
man.
cats that she has was actually a cat that my brother and I had when we were in college.
When this
He's doing well, but I just remember a couple times where I'd go to the bathroom and he'd be in the litter box or something, and I just hear the scratching and I'm not prepared for it. I'm like, where the hell that noise come from? But cats are gonna do what they do. They're nocturnal. I mean,
I'm just saying this right now. Go to our merch store and get this shirt now. It's called I Love Cats, but I Hate Cats. Get it while you can. All right, so
yeah.
This is a two-farter. This first one's called Dessert.
How are you enjoying your food, baby?
It's really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Why are you
I have
getting
a
on
treat
the
for
table?
you.
Why are you getting on the table?
She's like, wasn't that hot? He's like, no.
Come get some of this.
Come get some
steaming
of
hot
this,
ass.
baby.
Here's fart 2. That's what I titled. What the fuck? That look. He's like, and you expect me to like you after that? I've seen my wife give me the exact look.
Is that the divorce look?
No,
Not yet.
that's a much different look. Not that I've seen it, but I just assume.
He is not happy. He's not happy. But the chick that farted in her guy's face. Oh my God.
They must be.
She's like, look at me. Don't I look sexy? He's like, no.
You can tell that they're not married because obviously he's not like nice. He's just like,
next.
I'm gonna go.
Next. Oh,
One more time, just because that was an epic fart. Let's hear this.
it's
Farts are funny. On our
someone's
merch.
pants
All right.
need to be changed. And she just pops her legs. Sounds like an angry animal.
It sounded like a car after a second.
A car,
like
an
a rough
angry
start,
animal.
and then it
Oh.
drives off.
But she puts her legs up.
It sounds like a car.
Here he goes. Here he
I
goes.
didn't realize that. It's like a rough start, and then it kicks into gear.
It was a rough. Going from first to third, it was rough.
Starting to red line. When it first starts off, it starts like it's a bad start.
Yeah.
And then once it
It's
gets
rough,
going,
yeah.
it's like driving a manual and like you're supposed to be in second,
Yeah,
but
she stalled
you're
out.
in third.
Stalled out. Yeah. The gears grinded the wrong way. He's like, we're done.
I just
done.
watched it, 4 times in a row, and every time we watched, I've either heard something I didn't before, or I saw another detail, like
Yep.
his face
Oh, he
at
hates
the
it.
end.
He hates it.
Let's play it again, but shift up. There you go. Look at his eye movement. He's like, Oh, that's great.
He's like, no more. No more.
I can't help it, folks. I seriously, farts are funny. I can't help it. Speaking of farts are funny, we have a shirt that says that. You should go pick you up one. So this other part I want to say is like throughout this entire week, this whole Paranormal Month experience, really, because like really diving into this stuff. So, you know, you get in that mindset and just in that headspace of the paranormal stuff. So you start kind of observing stuff you normally wouldn't, I guess. So, you know, you see stuff out of the corner of your eye, or you hear a noise that probably you've heard a million times before, but for some reason you're paying attention this time around, you know. And I was at work today, and I started seeing something off in the corner of my eye that was dark, and it was moving very slow, like it seemed like it bounced up and down a little bit. And then I turned and not seeing anything. I kept doing what I was doing. I was like, I'm just fucking freaking out myself. But anyways, this is what it turned out to be. It's just a random fucking balloon. It's just floating away. It's like a balloon filled with helium that's just lost a little bit, and it's just floating by. There it is. Just being a fucking douchebag. So yeah, that's what was taunting me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching us, I really appreciate this. I mean, you know, I'm not going to apologize for us being the way we are, because that, you know, we're being us. We're being true to ourselves. Okay.
You always have to be true, Ron.
And you know, if you don't think farts are funny, fuck off. I'm just kidding. Not everybody thinks farts are funny, but I do. You know.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, so thanks for checking us out.
Yes, thank you very much.
We only have, from the day this airs, 3 days left on our t-shirt giveaway for you to name this lovely mascot of ours for
Please.
Our paranormal subjects.
Come on.
The best name suggestion will get a free t-shirt, and we'll probably pick it next episode, probably.
I think that's only fair.
Wait, no, we can't do next episode because we're like a week behind. So we'll let you know. Probably 2 episodes from now is when we'll have it figured out. But anyways, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your Facebook group, Instagram, whatever you can. We're trying to hit that 100 subscribers, and we're pulling pretty strong so far.
More farts.
Yeah, a lot more farts coming. Paul tried to cancel farts. I was like, no, you can't do that. Not up in here. I hope you all have a great week.
Thank you for being patient with us, as always.
Yes, thank you. All right, we'll see you next week.
Thanks again, guys. Peace.
Wait. We're going to carry this out just because this is such a lovely, lovely piece. We're going to let this woman's car fart carry us out on the episode.
Let it marinate.
Start it up. All right. Sounds like a really bad Honda Civic. That sounded like